Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And today we're going to be doing my What Sold video for last week, Monday through Thursday, September 22nd to the 25th. And sales were okay. I had 3 normal days, gold days, I guess you could call them, and then one day that was down. But I had some decent sales, some old stuff, some bread and butter, and then I think my best sell probably was on Etsy. So I have 2 on Etsy to share with you, and I think 4 on the new store. But otherwise, I'm just plodding along. We are planning to go out of town this weekend, so I've been trying to just take a whole bunch of pictures. I don't like this system, but I think it's going to work better for me when we're traveling. That way I can just make the drafts while we drive and hopefully have enough planned out for the however many days we decide to stay gone.
So when this video goes out, we're going to be almost to Missouri.
Oh, because it's coming out Friday? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to be driving Friday.
So I learned an important lesson yesterday, y'all. Taking pictures of plush is bad. I did not enjoy that at all. Rebel loves it. I did not enjoy it.
I had to go to the VA yesterday. I'm trying to get into whole health there and actually see an acupuncture. If you've ever done acupuncture where they just put the needles in your ear, let me know how it worked for you, because I'm going to try it. And then I had to go get the stuff to do a sleep apnea test. And so this was the message he sends me while I'm sitting there waiting on the next appointment. Here's the text he sends me. I would rather work on clothes than plush. I am not enjoying this. Knowing that plush are what you love to process, it confirms that you have some very, very deep psychological issues. I cackled.
That is true.
And he probably, how many do you think you did? Maybe a dozen.
50?
No, maybe a dozen. He did. And I came home from all of these appointments and probably got 20, 30 done. And then this morning, I'm still plodding along through them. But yeah, I love plush. I guess there truly is a difference, because I would think everybody would love to list plush, but obviously not. All right, so let me go ahead and share with you some of the things that sold. Etsy. I sold these Tupperware blocks lot. They did not have the little figures. New, they came with little figures inside of them. I very, very seldom find them with them in it. I think this was a Ben's pickup. And they sold for $22.45. So, and this was my best sell. This was an A&A Husky Wolf Dog plush with the blue eyes. It was 18 inches tall, and it sold for $116.95. Some of the older A&A dogs and cats do really well, so just keep your eyes out for that. I think I want to go look and see. I'm not seeing. That's the bad thing about Etsy is, I might have 20 photos for eBay, and when I cross list them over to Etsy, it only takes like 10, 6, 8, 10, and I don't even see my tag that shows the A and A, but it's the older tag that's like embroidered. That's the one to really be looking out for. All right, on eBay, Loveys, yay! This was Little Journey Dragon Lovey, and it sold for $9. Cabbage Patch kids shoes. This was a set of 2 of the sneakers, and they sold for $23. Christmas tree skirt. I think this was a Ben's pickup, and it was like a quilted with swans. It's only been listed since June. Starting to sell Christmas. Well, I sell Christmas all year long, but this sold for $17.95. This is the second. I picked up 2 of these at the Sasha Doll estate sale. It was a pack of just different things. But there were 2 sets of these fridge magnets from McDonald's. And this is the second one, $13.45. I swear these look cleaner than they show in the picture. But these were Converse Chuck Taylor high top shoes, sneakers, and they sold for $35.95. Funny thing is I can tell that they've been listed a while, and I just adjusted the price down. I probably had it listed for like $49.95, dropped the price to $39.95 about a week before they sold, and they sold very quickly. So that's been my new strategy as I'm doing my end and sell similars, especially things that are listed for like 20 bucks or higher and they've been listed a while. I have been decreasing the price because at this point, you know, a lot of this has been listed for a while and it's time to make them gone. Lower the price. You can't just depend on sales and offers to catch that buyer. So what I've been doing is going ahead and dropping the prices on a lot of stuff. And like this one, it's paying off.
I have a fun shoe story for the weekend. Went to a yard sale while we were with Bob and Amanda from Rocket City Resellers and Fiona's Finds. And the lady was selling jeans, just regular, you know, American Eagles and stuff, and Maurice's for $5 a pair. And I was like, well, that's not great. I can't do that. But she had a pair of Merrell hiking shoes that my size that I've been looking for $3. So you got your jeans that'll sell for 15 to 20 for $5, and you got your hiking shoes that'll sell for 50 to 75 for $3. And she sold the shoes, but not any jeans.
Nope. Animal Alley lamb sheep plush sold for $27. Oh, forgot about this sale. So this was actually better than the Etsy sale. This was American Character is the brand. Toodles doll from 1958. I picked this up the first time I went up to Connecticut at the Red, White, and Blue. It was in a bag all by itself. I think I paid $2 or $3 for it. I'm not a big doll person, but I know when I see something to definitely check the comps. I don't look at the porcelain dolls. They just don't do anything for me. And there's thousands of them around here. But this doll looked intriguing, and you know, it took 2 years to sell, but $135. Spark Create Imagine Pink Bear plush sold for $15.25. Here's one of the bunnies that I picked up recently at an estate sale. There was only one bunny. It's the where I picked up 14 of the kitty kittens and puppies, and then this one bunny. I paid $1 each. I've sold several already. In fact, I think I've sold 2 on Etsy. But the bunny sold for $35.95. Gunned My First Puppy Dog plush. This one was 15 inches tall. I always put that code in there because there's these dogs come in different sizes, different styles. So it's important to put that gunned number on there if you have it. I just listed this on the 16th. And it sold in about a week, $35.95. Just listed this one also this month. It is a Russ mini troll with a cute little lamb outfit. Sold for $11.66. Talbot's women's jeans still have quite a bit of clothing in this store. Slowly but surely, I'm trying to move them over while I'm also trying to list new over there. But these jeans sold for $14. I'm pretty sure I picked up, based on the size, we went to an estate sale. Did I pay $0.25 or 50 cents? I think 50 cents for a ton of Talbots. So nice return on investment. Bob the Builder mini plush doll, 5-inch. Y'all, I tried to auction this on Whatnot. Didn't get any bites. I think the troll also, that I just showed you guys, no bites. Listed it on eBay. Sold very quickly. $8.96.
Back on the Talbots, we find those regularly around here, and they sell fairly regularly for us on eBay. They're not a high dollar brand by any means, but they do sell for us, and they don't take forever either. You know, they're not as slow as, I think we sell more of them than we do Lee, probably.
Oh, yeah. Lee takes, the right buyer. Walmart unicorn pillow plush. You know, it was one of those moments. I was pulling something else out of a box and I saw this. And you know how sometimes you look at something, you touch it, it sells. This is what happened with this, because it's been listed forever. $11.66. Not something I'll pick up again. LOL surprise doll. This one had like water balloons with it. When I found it at the bins, it was still in a little plastic bag. I just left everything together as is, and it sold $8.96. This was another one of those. I dropped the price and it sold. Disney Toy Story Emperor Zurg. I really thought that this would sell for a whole lot more. I think originally I had it listed for, 25 or 30. Dropped the price to 19. Took a best offer. I mean, within a day or two of lowering the price of 15. It just needs to be gone. All right. Dakin dog plush sold for $13.45. Carter's brown monkey plush. There's loveys with this same type of monkey. There are smaller versions, larger versions. I tend to pick up any of the Carter's monkeys, and this one sold for $17.95. Teddy Betty Bear nightlight. I think I picked this up at the bins. It was just one of those things. I had to save it. You can't put this in the bins. It is like a porcelain nightlight, 1982, and I ended up selling it for $15.71. American Girl Marie Grace's dog plush sold for $22.41. Bad buy. And we picked up a couple of these. I still have another one. And then we picked up something else that just hasn't sold. Just sometimes you think these older insulated cups are going to do well. Not so much. Finally sold the first one, $8.96. All right, this was a very, very quick sell. We picked this up at a thrift store in Knoxville. I paid $6.95 each. But I want to say I picked up like 8 of these. They are Tomy Starcades game from 1987 in their original packaging. And I listed them for $50 and sold these the same day for $40 offer with combined shipping. So that was a really, really nice, quick sell.
And this is the guy that said don't bother refunding any of the shipping discount because he got such a good deal on the price.
Yep, that was just crazy that, I know I comped these and I know my price was fair, but yeah, he was thrilled and said keep the refund. This was a gunned black rhino plush, sold for $8.96.
Speaking of buyers and sellers, so I was flipping through Reddit the other day. I guess you don't flip through Reddit, you scroll through Reddit.
I don't do Reddit, period.
I'm in a few different subreddits on there. Just, read things like Duolingo Spanish and eBay and stuff like that. And somebody had sold a baby blanket, and they sold the $50 baby blanket, but they accidentally shipped the $200 baby blanket to the buyer, sent them a message and said, you know what, I'm going to send you the right one, and you can just go ahead and keep that one. I personally would have asked, hey, can you send that back? And I'm going to go ahead and send you the right one now, right?
And then trust that they will.
Right. You got to trust that because, you messed up. Somebody, an eBay seller, responded and said they wouldn't have done that. They would have told the buyer to open a refund, and once they got
Return.
yep. Look at you got to correct me like I got to correct you sometimes.
You.
This seller said they would have told the buyer to open a return, send the wrong blanket back, and once they received it, they would then send out the correct blanket. Don't do that.
No.
I would be the one that messed up. You need to make it right with the buyer and then
Quickly.
hope that they're going to send back the thing that you sent them on accident. And honestly, I bet 90% of buyers would, probably. You know, if you're making it right with them, they're probably going to send it back to you. And it might even be higher than 90%. But this one that said, no, I'm going to wait on you, that buyer might have just said, nope, you sent me the wrong thing, INAD, and start pitching a fit with eBay. And then the seller's going to have a problem. Just don't be that seller. Don't.
Yeah.
Be good to your buyers. Even though sometimes they're not good to us, but people like this seller that is demanding the wrong item be sent back before they get the right item is why buyers act the way they do sometimes. That's why they send crazy messages with instructions on how to pack stuff, or just expecting us to scam them out of something because they've been scammed or done wrong by sellers too many times on eBay.
Yep. Yep. And I mean, over the years, I've done that a couple of times. I've sent the wrong lovey, or it's never been really high dollar. And in those situations, I just go ahead and send them the correct one and let them keep the one that I sent that was wrong. Just because it kind of like pads it a little bit as far as now they got to wait again for the item that they ordered. And usually, you know, with those types of mistakes, it's kind of the same thing anyway. So they get 2 for 1. And I don't think I've ever had somebody upset with that. So.
And with the lovey, you really don't want to pay $4 to ship a $9 lovey back. It's just not worth it on our end to do that sort of thing.
I don't even know. Did I even talk about this item? If I didn't. This was a Gund Black Rhino plush, sold for $8.96. Y'all, right here could have been an issue because I had listed this as unused, but that the side was open. But, you know, it didn't look like the toys had ever been removed. Well, I didn't realize that it was missing the little cargo that goes in the cargo toy. And somebody sent me a message and said, you know, would you take less because the cargo is missing out of that? And sure enough, I looked at my pictures, and in the pictures, there's supposed to be a thing inside the cargo car. So I went in and I adjusted the listing's description to state that, you know, it is missing the cargo for the cargo car. And I told them definitely I would take less than I had, you know, put on there, thinking that it was, you know, like a new open box type thing. I don't use that term. I put used but unused, that type of thing. Pre-owned but unused. And they still sent me a relatively decent offer, $28 for this. I know we paid, I think, $3 at that church sale for this, but I truly didn't notice somebody had opened it up just to take the cargo out. I picked up a bunch of CDs one time, long time ago, and I'm down to a few left. This is one of those situations where I knew they're brand new. You know, it still had Tower Record stickers on it, but a lot of it was... they were good CDs, but I did have quite a few that were these like Halloween type. I think that's all that I've got left anyway. But this one finally sold $9.95. Applause, Sad Sam plush. He was supposed to be making sounds. He did not. So I just stated that in the listing. And he still sold $22.45. Lauren jeans. Women's size 18W sold for $21. We find a lot of Ralph Lauren clothes around here also. This is Nanco Domo Brown Plush. I do really well with Domo. They sell very quickly for me. This one sold in about 12 days or so, $13.45. PJ Masks. I used to buy them all the time. They are definitely slow movers now. But this one is one of the 6-inch talkers, sold for $8.96. This was a quick sale also. I think it sold within a day or two of listing. It is an Eden pink terry cloth doll. Ooh, I put cloth in there twice. In my brain, these are called cloth dolls or rag dolls, and then terry cloth. That's why I've got it in there twice without thinking about it. I tend to put the color of the hair and the eyes when I do these types of listings, and it sold very, very quickly for $50. Talbots, again, I think pretty much the same sale because it's that size 6P. These were skinny brown pants, corduroy pants, sold for $20.41. Again, I think I paid 50 cents for them. Kamar or Kamar, I love that brand. I do not find it very often. In fact, I just listed a mohair bear that I had picked up at the bins. But this one took like a year and a half to sell, and the bunny sold for $21.56. Dora the Explorer Boots, the monkey plush, sold in about 2 months, $13.45. And never, ever again will I pick these up. I picked up probably 5 of these at the bins at some point a couple of years ago. And they all had their tags. Probably 2 of them weren't working by the time I got home. You know, you're supposed to squeeze them and their face does weird stuff. So yeah, finally, this is the last one. Never again will I pick up Feisty Pets, but it sold for $9. All right, let me share with you what I sold on the other store. First thing that sold were American Eagle corduroy pants again. These were flare, and they sold for $22.21. American Eagle Tom Girl women's jeans sold for $17. Y'all, I shake my head when I have to take pictures of or list these distressed jeans. $17. We probably have $2 in them, maybe 3. Old Navy women's boyfriend jeans sold for $19.51. And last but not least, American Eagle, again, Tom Girl jogger pants sold for $19.99. Right, hope you guys are starting to see an uptick in sales. Today is October 1st, so don't forget to order your shipping supplies, new quarter, fourth quarter. Y'all, please let sales pick up. Let me sell a bunch of this stuff. You know, I'm trying to get rid of the old stuff. And I just, you know, I actually want to see my inventory numbers going down during this fourth quarter because, you know, I'm trying to get rid of this old stuff. And at some point, I'm going to have to start pulling it and probably donating again because, you know, I'm running out of space. I want better inventory. So it is what it is.
You said you want fourth quarter, you want to sell a lot of this stuff. You know, I want to sell it all. That's what I want.
True.
Unfortunately, you always set your sights and your targets too low. But then there's me.
I did notice, though, yesterday, you know, my inventory was up about 12,000 at some point, and then I got rid of a bunch. And yesterday, I finally dropped below 10,000 listings. So I can no longer say I have 10,000 listings. I have 9,995. But, you know, I don't hold on to the old stuff. Figure out how to get rid of it, either by donating, but just keep dropping the price till you can get this stuff gone and take that money that you make and go buy better stuff. That's the game, right? All right, get to work. Bye.